Alright, welcome back. Round 5 of Carolina XC. The weather was actually pretty nice. It was a little cloudy early in the day, but the sun came out. The temperature was a little colder than I would have liked. But then again, I'm a small guy, so I get cold pretty easy. I think it was like low 50s. It's supposed to be a little warmer tomorrow. This is actually the night of the race, so it's a double header. We'll be back there again first thing in the morning. This track is actually a track that we've already been at before. I thought it was a new track. For some reason they changed the name. I can't remember what the name was last year. I think it was Eagle Valley or something like that. And that's actually the race that last year I got a flat and didn't actually get the chance to race the second moto for that day or the entire second day. It was a doubleheader last year as well. So that was a little unfortunate. So today it looks like I'm going to be able to actually make it to both races, which would be good. That being said, this is a sand track for the most part, and I do not like the sand. There's just really not a whole lot of sand around where I live, close by, so I don't have a lot of practice with it, so I always struggle when I get in it. I will say there's only one like really open, sandy field, and then the rest of it was kind of in the woods, and it was better in the woods. It did get, some of the whoops did get pretty deep, which was a little sketchy, but other than that, it wasn't that bad. I just struggle in the sand though, and I had major arm pumps, especially on this first moto. It really got my arms. But yeah, so we're coming up. Actually, I really like this turn right here. It was kind of sandy, but it was a fun turn. I think I handled it well pretty much every time I went around it. But this field right here is the field I was talking about. Quite a lot of sandy turns, and I don't come into them with enough speed. I think is my problem. And then my front end just washes out, and then I'm like paddling basically. So I don't know. I think tomorrow I'm gonna try to come at them a little more aggressively and see if that does better, because the slow and steady approach that I'm used to just doesn't work. Did actually get around quite a few people right there by dodging to the left. Well, I say that. It looks like someone passed me right back, but yeah, but this, because of how loose the front end gets in the sand, I was gripping my bars really tight trying to hold on, and yeah, it just arm pump galore. This part here in the woods, I actually really enjoyed this section. Coming back out, there's another little, it's not really a big field like that first one, but it's another little field area before we cross the road. And specifically this spot, I really enjoyed it every time I went through. But it was the other side of the road that I felt like got really bombed out. Now this left line here, I didn't like it. I think that was the only time I took it the entire race. That inside right line was a little faster. See me getting all the way to the outside, trying to get away from the sand. Obviously not paying off as I'm just getting passed by everybody. But yeah, this side of the road over here, I think I stumbled a bit. It got really whooped out in some sections. Oh, and this little sand crossing right here across the road, this was really, you can see that guy there. It was super easy to go down right there. I think there was like loose sand on top, and then it was kind of hard packed underneath. So you would go down to the hard pack and then just slide. You had to take it easy. The camera makes me look like I'm going a lot faster than I really am. I really like this little spot here next to the road because you can just go wide open. Well, at least this first moto you could. The second moto there was some deep holes you had to slow down for. But yeah, this section basically here in the woods all the way till we crossed the other road, it got bad back here. I mean, there were some deep whoops, and then you got trees on either side of you, and there were roots in there as well. So if you came through a whoop and hit a root wrong, you were like bouncing straight into a tree. Fortunately, I didn't have any trouble, but I did see quite a few people hit trees. So hopefully everyone was okay. Some guy in the AB moto before us lost his entire front fender. Like, the whole thing just snapped off. That was pretty crazy. My hands are feeling tired just watching this again. I mean, man. The stabilization on the camera really takes a lot of the action out. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, because the stabilization makes it great for you, the viewer, to actually see what's going on, but it also takes away a lot of the actual roughness of the track, and you can't see how bad it actually was. So, but yeah, trust me, what you're seeing here, it was a lot worse in person. I really like this line to the left here. I think I took it every time. Okay, so I nearly hit that tree right there, I'm not gonna lie. My back end got kind of squirrely and I was heading straight for that tree, so I stopped to collect my thoughts there for a second. So that was it for the first lap, so we're going to actually skip ahead to about most of the way through the third lap. I think I actually started to make a pretty decent push here at the end of the third lap, so I thought I'd show it off. I guess after the initial shock of my hands pumping up and then kind of calming down a bit, they loosened up a bit more and I was able to actually push a little bit. That little dip right there was so much fun. I love that part. But yeah, it's nothing amazing, but it's a lot better than my second lap, because my second lap my arms were so pumped up that I was basically just putting along. So at this point I actually started to basically race again, I guess. So I don't think you can hear it, but there's actually a guy behind me on a 4-stroke at this point. And he was kind of pushing me a little bit. He wasn't too close, but he wasn't far off. So I was trying to keep ahead of him. So there he is. He manages to get around me there, and I was like, if there's one thing I do this moto, I just want to beat this one guy. So I was really trying to keep up with him. And then he kind of bobbles here, coming across those roots, and I managed to get around him. So I was pretty happy about that coming into the last little few sections here. I just had to stay ahead of him. I could hear him. He was catching up with me again here as we went to this last little section. And I was so tired of the sand whoops that I decided to try this left line because it had less whoops in it. But I could hear him trying really hard to get around me, and I pushed as hard as I could to keep ahead of him on that line. And fortunately, I was able to manage to beat him out. So, small accomplishments for that one moto, I guess. I'll take anything at this point. moving on to the next moto. I actually changed the traction map to the map on my bike to the traction mode to see if it would help in the sand any. Honestly, I didn't really notice a difference. If anything, I think it may have hurt me more than anything. I took a really bad line choice here this first moto. Well, first of all, I went through this tree again, which sucked. Don't do that. That tree hurts. Some kind of thorn tree. But this guy here kind of stalls, and I try to cut around him real quick and nearly take that guy out. That was my bad. I should have looked before I just dove into him in the line like that. But fortunately, he was able to recover and nobody got hurt. But yeah, that was a little sketchy. But yeah, second moto, more the same basically. More sand. My arms didn't pump up nearly as bad this time, but I imagine everyone else's arms didn't pump up the second time either, because it felt like I did much worse in comparison. I think the biggest thing the second moto was the track was appreciably worse, especially in the woods on the other side of the road. Like, some of those holes got really deep. As for the field, I did a lot worse in the sand, in those sand berms. I don't know, I couldn't figure it out. Well, it looks like I wasn't the only person that struggled with him, at least. There's at least a few guys that they were having a hard time, too. Yeah, I got a little squirrely there and nearly hit that tree, so that was kind of scary. So that was it for the first lap. We'll again skip ahead to most of the way through the third lap. Again, similar deal. I felt a lot better on my third lap, but I guess a little too late to really do anything. Just listening to the bike, I think I need to really go down a gear to really ride a little better in this softer soil. I was really hoping I was going to be able to catch this guy, kind of like I caught the other guy at the end of my my last moto. Or I guess I didn't catch him, but I stayed ahead of him. But unfortunately, he just got away from me. So, a little disappointing, but it is what it is, I guess. So that was pretty much it for my second moto. Overall, the day was a little disappointing. I didn't do as good as I would have hoped I could have, but it's just I'm just not familiar with really riding in the sand, and I guess honestly the only way to get better at it is to get out there and do it. So I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be doing it again. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little better. So first moto ended up 18th out of 22, so pretty bad, honestly. Second moto, not much better, 17 out of 20, 3 DNFs. And then overall, I was 47th out of like 102 or 101, something like that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.